So the Flash showed up. Well, actually, it didn't. There's no almost very little Flash in the Flash in this episode of Rayo Deluz. You know. Well, it's going to be all about Allegra. Well, not all about her really. Just she's going to be the main player here. You know, I'm sure the girl playing her is a lovely person, but I'm sorry, she just isn't good at acting. You know, I guess she's learned a little on the way, but it's not a good episode. And that's, you know, the previous one was probably their best outing yet, which is saying almost nothing, because the show is so bad now. But her cousin was Ultraviolet, the lady with a mask over her face, and had this sort of, you know, almost robotic voice, and that's because the people at Black Hole had tormented her to turn her into a nasty assassin, and removed her vocal cords, I guess, or cut them or whatever, I don't know. So she doesn't have her voice, so she's still pissed off about that. Imagine that. And so she's tearing up Central City looking for the mad scientist that did this to her. Meanwhile, Allegra has decided she's going to save her. The reason the Flash isn't there is because he and Iris are trying to have kids. So, and Iris just, you know how I said in the last, she was so bored in the last episode, she was probably asleep and wasn't available for this one due to the extreme boredom. So, Barry found some tropical island and they were going to go vacation on it. And even though the whole planet has nearly been destroyed a couple of times, he figured, hey, it's okay for him to go off to some island somewhere to get it on, you know? So that's what he does. So in the meantime, everything's going to be okay because Allegra's in charge. And so she's going to look for her cousin to go save her, you know, the one that became a murderer. Yeah. So that's what she's going to do. And I guess they were trying to suggest there's, like, Chester has a crush on her, or there's something there. But this, again, the acting is so bad. So, I don't know. Maybe not. Doesn't matter. Of course, Catwoman shows up. I mean, Sue Dibney. And that's the best part, because she looks so good in that outfit. And but she doesn't have any powers yet. She's able to, you know, kick Ultraviolet's ass a time or two, and it's Ultraviolet just lets her when she could just fry her with her powers. Makes no sense at all, but well, that's what she does. And she tells Allegra, yeah, you're an idiot, this isn't gonna work. Allegra's got to believe in love, you know. And so that's what they're gonna do. And of course, you know what's gonna happen. Love's gonna win. It sure is. It sure is. So so that's that plot. Meanwhile, they had a parallel plot where it's kind of the same thing. Oh, did you catch that? Yeah. You see, Joe is suspicious about Kramer, the lady who came in, and she's all bigoted towards metas and all that sort of stuff. So he, in protest, quits the department. So she takes over his job. So he's been investigating her background in the military, where her reason she doesn't like metas is because a meta led her team into an ambush and all that. And so, but Joe's beginning to suspect she might have had guilty knowledge or even been in on the plot. So he's looking for evidence and all this stuff. And ultimately they meet at, Killer Frost's bi-curious boyfriend's old bar. And she, confesses that, she had a relationship with the meta. It turns out that he's my brother. Well, not by blood, but since they were both Native Americans and they grew up, but they weren't living on the the reservation. Yeah. So they were rejected by their people or something, I guess, just for that. I don't know. But anyway, they bonded over the years and went into the military together, I guess. And I guess he had some sort of meta powers. I still don't know what they were. And he had set up her platoon, and he tried to warn her not to go. He said, I got a bad feeling about this. But she went anyway, and the ambush happened. And that's when she realized she was betrayed. And so she's embarrassed about it and that sort of thing. And that's why it's this big secret. It's a boring thing. It's very soap opera-ish, which is basically all the CW is. But the two of them, Joe and I'm forgetting her first name, but Miss Kramer, are just better actors. And so they perform it as good as they can, despite being given crap. They, do as best as they can with it. And so it's kind of interesting, the contrast between the two, where the other ones was more about the action. And that's what superhero shows supposed to be. You can have some of this, and if it was just them doing that and there was some other real interesting action adventure going on, it would be fine. But it's just the same thing played out, just better actors do it better, even without the added, benefit of action. So the action, the only good thing about that is seeing what's-her-face in her cat suit, which is very nice, but it's also highly, unbelievable, because she doesn't have any powers, for one thing, so she takes on this superpowered woman and beats her twice, and that's ridiculous. Oh, yeah, Chester gets zapped, and then Allegra, I can't help but feel this is somehow my fault. Because it is. Although it is kind of Sue's fault, too, because she started the fight just to prove that she's a bad person. But what do you expect? You challenge her, you start kicking her in the face and stuff. So it's kind of Sue's fault that Chester, got zapped and broke his arm and all this stuff. And what a mess. Of course, Chester figures out, hey, I could turn on this machine that can track down the radiation of Ultraviolet's powers. And all I got to do is have Allegra tap hers into it so it can recognize it. So they do, and of course, ta-da, there she is. So Allegra heads over there to go confront her cousin, and when she gets there, she's met up with Dr. Olson, the mad scientist who messed up her vocal cords. And so he says, look, I made a deal. I can restore her voice, but I need her to kill all of Team Flash, starting with you. And so they fight and stuff. And Sue shows up, and there's a bunch of guards, but she takes them out easy, even though she's just a small little doll in a sexy cat suit. And these big hulking dudes, it's a good thing they threw themselves to the floor when she leaps at them. Otherwise, it wouldn't have gone very well for her. So she does all that. And then about the time Ultraviolet's about to kill Allegra, she finds her true power. It's love. Because the doctor says Ultraviolet is powered by hate. But Allegra says, I'm powered by something else. So then she catches on fire. Whatever, she's glowing and all godlike, and so she defeats Ultraviolet. And so Ultraviolet's getting treated in the Star Labs. She's not restrained or nothing. She's a murderer, but they're just going to let her sit there. And then even Caitlin says, hey, I think I can fix your vocal cords. Oh, isn't that great? And then Allegra comes and tells her that my source of power was family. So love won in the end. Bet you didn't see that coming. La la love. Yeah. It's pretty bad, but sexy catsuit, that was pretty good. So there is that. So if you just want to tune in for those parts, I understand. She knows she can wear that suit very well. Yeah. Plus, she is a better actress than Allegra, so I don't know. It's too bad the whole elongated man thing didn't work out, but well, that's common cancel culture era, Doesn't matter what it does to your characters or show. Doesn't matter. Anyway, be careful on Twitter. Yeah, be very careful. So there you go. Another episode of Flash with no Flash, but did get some nice ass. Thanks for watching and listening. Say, while you're still here, why not like and subscribe and share with your many friends? Yes. Also, check out my mini stores in the link description below. Yes, where you can get t-shirts, hats, mugs, all those goodies with my artwork on them. Oh, yeah.
And head over to indieplanet.com and pick up a copy of my comic book, Night Night. Oh, yeah. You can also catch me at my podcast, Mr Nailsin Show, on RadioMisfits.com. And you can also watch my videos on BitChute.com and now on Rumble.com. Oh, my goodness. So many places to watch me and my stuff. Oh, yeah. And if that's not enough for you, well, you can follow me on many social media platforms and say hi to your old pal, Mr. Nailsin.